Hey guys, just a couple of updates. Anybody that didn't see my last video, um, like Sunday night, I pledged that I was only going to shoot with the Tascarella, with my newest Tascarella, which is my new main cue, until Derby City Classic in January. Well, this right here is my Sean R12. Hey, you're a liar. No. The next day, after I made that swear, I decided to ship that cue to the Tascarella shop in New York to get the lizard skin wrap replaced with Spanish bull. That's what happened. I paid USPS for express shipping. I prepaid for return shipping and all that. The damn thing was supposed to arrive Wednesday, which meant I may have even gotten it today. Today's Saturday. But they don't even have it yet. Tascarella doesn't even have it yet. Because USPS is not my favorite company in the world. So, as I said, this is my Sean R12. But the shaft is the shaft off my newest Tascarella. And I went ahead and I replaced the tip with the triangle tip. It had some kind of a soft tip on it. Talm, tape, whatever, TALM tip. I went and replaced it with the triangle. And this is the Tascarella shaft. It does fit onto my Sean's, but it's not like that the compression fit. Somebody called it a compression fit. When I would screw it into the Tascarella, it would get down to an eighth of an inch or whatever, and then it would start to get really tight. And I think that's because this part of the shaft that protrudes out, I don't know what its official name is. I call it a nipple because I'm an emotional child sometimes. It's coated with wood, so it's like a little bit, compressible, and that's what was happening with the Tascarella. I would get like this, and it would start to compress, and it was tight. But on the Sean, it just goes right in. So this setup, while close to what would be with the Tascarella, it's not identical because I don't have that compression fit on the joint. But this is the shaft, this is the tip. And that's my update. I don't expect Pete Tascarella to get my cue until Monday. I guess they tried to deliver it yesterday, but after business hours. I don't expect him to make a trip to the post office on a weekend to get my cue. That would be above and beyond. So I don't expect him to get it till Monday. Probably rewrap it Tuesday. Maybe ship it Wednesday. And because USPS is not very fast and they like to just take money for no reason whatsoever for express shipping and then ship it whenever they feel like it, I may not get the cue until September for all I know. But with this setup, I can at least try to start, getting used to it, get a little bit of a head start on getting used to the new stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do. So, along with getting used to the cue as well as I can with what the equipment I have on hand, I'm also trying to get used to 8-ball. I need to play 8-ball again for a little while. I mentioned in another video, but my local pool hall has a fairly big annual 8-ball tournament in the fall. Last year I happened to win the thing, but I wasn't prepared. My practice had been horrible. My practice down here had been horrible at 8-ball. It just so happened that everything came together on that particular day, and I shot fairly well in that tournament. I don't want to have to count on that happening this year. I want to try to go in a little bit more prepared. See how that feels. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I'm trying to practice some 8-ball. With me, it's mostly just about being able to see the patterns. What pattern should I shoot? Should I shoot this 10, which is a stop shot? And then the 14 and 11? No, because there's a freaking 9 over here. So what's my proper pattern? And that's just the kind of thing that sometimes I will see them right away, and sometimes I will never see those patterns. That's the way it's always been with me in 8-ball. So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to get used to this equipment as well as I can with the equipment that I have now, and also get used to the game of 8-ball, which I haven't played since last fall. Nobody that I hang out with plays 8-ball. The people that I hang out with are all about one pocket, and every now and then when they're feeling especially like getting murdered, then bang pull. That's just the way it is. Not a lot of 8-ball being played with the people I hang out with. I might have hit that too hard. I don't know what. So what I usually do, practicing my 8-ball, is throw balls out and then just try to just shoot them like it's a game of 8-ball. I don't practice the break down here. This is a 9-foot table. The tournament is held on 4x8s. And one of the things that killed me last year in trying to practice 8-ball was my breaks down here were absolutely horrible. I kept ending up with 3 or 4 or 5 clusters in almost every damn game. So that's not what I'm doing. I'm just throwing balls out. They'll go as long as I see the patterns correctly, that type of deal. And that's all I'm trying to do. Then once or I say if I run out the 8-ball rack, then I have these balls left and I try to shoot them in order. It's just a practice thing, and this is what I do. I mentioned in a video like Wednesday or so, me trying to get used to new equipment is mainly just shooting with it. There's not a lot of drills and stuff. Just trying to shoot and trying to be very observant of what's going on and any differences and any surprises that happen that I can't attribute to myself physically or mentally. Maybe I can attribute those to its different equipment for me. And that's all that happens here. I can tell you right away that this cue, this shaft on this R12 butt, it's still not a wow cue for me. It's still not. I've been hopeful, but it's not. I mean, it hits good and all that. It's got the triangle tip on it, which is a harder tip than the one that I had. So I'm not getting quite as much spin. I really like the fact that this cue does not squirt particularly much. Oops, you all didn't know I knew that shot. That may have been one of the things that hurt me on, getting used to the Southwest. That kid does squirt quite a bit. And so I just shoot and we see what happens. I don't have a whole lot of other updates. I guess I just talk about. So today is Saturday, and maybe about Wednesday, I shipped the Tascarella off on Monday. Maybe about Wednesday, I started shooting with my Tim Scruggs. And I was reasoning that, well, it's got the same kind of joint. It's got that compression fit joint, somebody called it. So it's probably the most similar in playability and all that to my Tascarella as anything else I own. And I played with that cue for a couple of days, and damn near fell into dead stroke for a couple of days with that Tim Scruggs. I know that cues don't really have awareness and personalities and emotions and all that, but if they did, then that Tim Scruggs was trying its damnedest to earn its way back into its spot as being my main cue. Remember, it was my main cue for a few months until I bought the Southwest. Hit the holy crap out of that ball. That's the kind of thing that I'm hoping will not happen once I get the Tascarella butt. I'm hoping that I won't be under hitting stuff, because it'll be annoying. One of the main reasons that I'm switching here is the hope that the new setup, the Tascarella butt with this shaft, will hit better than most of my other cues. It may even end up being a wow cue for me. I no longer expect that to happen. I do not expect, when I get the Tascarella back, I do not expect it to hit as well as my Josses or my PGRs. And I would just have to just live with that fact. I would have to just, put on my big boy pants and just deal with it, because I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think anything I own in any combination, the Tascarella, Sean, whatever, is going to hit as well as my stock PGRs and my stock Joss cues. And what that tells me is that I need to keep buying cues. Eventually, I will find something that I made a video before about checking all the boxes. I want a wow cue that also checks the boxes for street cred and looks. And I kind of have another category, just playability. Like, if anybody knows me personally, you know I'm pretty much a nerd. I've been working computers since '83. So I'm making this spreadsheet with all my cues, and it has 4 columns, and it has a column for how good does a cue look according to my taste, not just flat out how fancy is it. According to my taste, how good does it look? It has hit quality. It has street cred, and the 4th column I've added is just playability. How well do I play with that cue? And I can take those different columns and I can weight the values differently. Like maybe a year ago when I got the Southwest, I don't think I cared how well I played with the Southwest, because yay, it's the Southwest. And for me at that point, street cred was more important than anything else. But here over the last several weeks, that hasn't been the case. I made some videos to pre-record before I went on vacation, talking about my best hitting cues, what would be the contenders if I lost my Southwest. And it made me do a lot of thinking about all the cues I have and how good they are in various categories. Now, I actually put some thought into those videos. I didn't just pull names out of a hat and put a video out there. I put some thought into it, and it's really made me kind of do a little bit of a self-evaluation of what is important to me as a pool player. And as a result of all that, street cred has gone down. It's still important to me. It is still important to me, but it's gone down. It's no longer the most important thing. And I've added that other category, which is how well do I play with the playability, and that's gone up. And so that's kind of where I'm at, and I put all these things on the spreadsheet, and my new Tascarella came out with the highest scores. My Scruggs came out with the 2nd highest scores. And that's the way it is. When I get the Tascarella back, I will plug in the real numbers once I play with it for a while, because a lot of what I've already plugged in were just kind of like by memory. Of course, I know that it looks great. I know about the street cred. But the playability, when I had it for just several days before I shipped it off. I did okay, but I was still trying to get used to the cue, and it had that soft ass tip on it. So I've had a change, a change of philosophy or whatever, which was probably way overdue, to where I should be playing with whatever cue is best for me, and a lot of that has got to include how well do I play with it. It's got to, and it really wasn't before. And how good does a cue hit? That's kind of a little bit of playability. How good do I play with it? But there wasn't a separate category for that, and there needs to be. There should have been all along. If I had had this spreadsheet and been completely honest and objective and all this a year ago when I got the Southwest, I wouldn't switch to the Southwest. I would have stuck with the Scruggs. I would have, because at the time, that was the cue that was the best for me. Didn't have the spreadsheet, had not done that analysis. The street cred was way up there as far as importance to me at the time. I've always had an probably unwarranted fascination and respect for Southwest Qs. That hasn't gone away. It's just not as important to me now as it was before. So that's this. It's not much of an update. You know, I'd really hope that by today I would have my Tascarella back, and I could jump back into that. This is getting used to the Q and all that. This is what I like about it, maybe what I don't like about it. But I don't have it back, and it's probably going to be at least a week before I get it back. And yes, that does indeed suck. So if you guys think it sucks, just imagine how I feel about it. Bye, guys.